Changing is a skill we can all learn to get better at. It's not like it takes a certain type of person to be able to change. You can do it too. And to help you in this video, I will explain important change skills that the habit specialist BJ Fogg has discovered in his decades of research on change and his practical support in helping people change. Hey there, welcome here. I'm Maika. I'm a psychologist, and this is Becoming an Expert at Self-Leadership. We're starting a new year, and often this is a time of year when people are especially motivated to change. So if there's a change you're thinking about making, here are 7 steps you can take according to the Tiny Habits method that can help you translate this desire into a lived experience. Step 1, clarify what you want. Every change starts with a longing, a dream. What is this aspiration that you want to achieve? Compared to all the things that you might want to change in the future, what is most important to you right now at this point in your life? BJ Fogg emphasizes that it's important to find these, what he calls enduring aspirations, rather than getting started off of spur of the moment ideas. Now define a concrete outcome that tells you you've reached your aspiration or come closer to it. For example, your aspiration could be to reduce stress in 2023, and your outcome could be to reduce, improve, heal a major physical or psychological consequence that you're dealing with at the moment due to your stress levels. Step 2, explore options. Next, collect any behavior that could help you achieve your aspiration and outcome. Anything that you could start, stop, or do once. BJ Fogg calls this collecting a swarm of bees around your aspiration or outcome. And he recommends to do it from a headspace of holding a magic wand. Assume that you can get yourself to do anything and that nothing will stand in your way. So if your aspiration is to reduce stress, here are some bees that could be part of your swarm. Go for a regular walk, learn and practice abdominal breathing, stop checking emails after 6 p.m., practice progressive muscle relaxation regularly, stretch every time you get up from your chair, journal for 10 minutes daily, check in with your bodily signals 3 times daily to increase your awareness of your limits. Say no to non-essential requests. Switch from a threat mindset to resilience and lightheartedness every time you feel overwhelmed. Talk to a friend every week. Retreat into alone time every day. Formulate a to-do list and plan every day. Ask yourself at the beginning of new projects and tasks, what is essential here and what are nice to haves that I can skip? Schedule a quiet meeting room at work daily for yourself for an hour. Listen, dance to music every day. Leave work on time. Meditate daily. Step 3, make choices. Now you want to take a closer look at the swarm of bees that you've collected and examine each one for its impact and feasibility. And then you'll place each behavior on this map, this focus map, as BJ Fogg calls it. The impact means to ask, how much will this behavior actually contribute to achieving my outcome? And feasibility is the question of, can I get myself to do it? Given my resources, my ability, can I do it? And do I want to do it? Is there more of a motivation and a want to behind it than a should? Can you see yourself doing this even on the hardest day of the week? And the habits that are most promising, the ones you want to select, are those in the top right corner with the highest impact and feasibility. And BJ Fogg calls them the golden behavior. Step 4, start tiny. Now you want to find a tiny version of the behavior that you're aiming for. Think about everything that could make this new behavior hard and collect ideas of how you could make it easier, as easy as possible. One thing you can do is use that motivation wave you have at the beginning to do some research, collect some know-how and information about this new habit to raise your ability level. And then think about how you can scale back on that behavior. So for example, a tiny version of saying no to non-essential requests could be to reply with, "Let me think about that till tomorrow," whenever someone asks you to take on a new task. A tiny version of making a plan and to-do list every day could be to think of the one thing that is most important for you on that day. A tiny version of 30 minutes progressive muscle relaxation daily could be a 1-minute muscle relaxation. A tiny version of 1 hour alone time could be 5 minutes alone time. A tiny version of journaling 10 minutes daily could be writing 1 sentence daily. A tiny version of regular mindset shifts throughout the day could be to have 1 mindset shift. For example, BJ Fogg recommends to say, "Today is going to be a good day" every morning right after waking up. Alternatively, you can also find a starter step. This is not even the behavior itself or a tiny portion of it, but it's the thing you do before you start that new behavior. So for a daily meditation, this starter step could be to just sit down on the cushion. For a daily walk, the starter step could be to put on your walking shoes. To leave work on time, the starter step could be to fix a time, 5 or 6 p.m., and then to turn off all your devices at that time with the option of turning them back on, but just to include that habit, that starter step into your routine of turning them off at that point in time. When you make a behavior easy to do by scaling it back, you ensure that you'll be able to do it every day, also on hard days. You're aiming for consistency, not perfection. Perfection would be to do the complete habit every day, but consistency means to do the tiny scaled back version or starter step every day. Also, don't raise the bar too quickly. Allow the tiny habit to really form roots in your routine. The tiny habit alone is a success. Step 5, find a prompt. Another key ingredient for your change is to find a prompt that will help you remember to do the new habit. Some habits, like saying no to non-essential to-dos, come with a prompt in the sense that this habit requires a certain situation to happen, which is the prompt. But then other habits like daily alone time, they don't really come with a prompt. And for those, we need to find prompts. And what is best here is what James Clear calls habit stacking, or BJ Fogg calls it behavior sequencing, to find a place in your routine where you can insert the habit, to have something that the habit can follow, some behavior that you're already doing, to attach it to that. And the last step of whatever you do before you do the new habit is what BJ Fogg calls an anchor prompt, which needs to be pretty specific. So here are some examples of what this could sound like. When my feet touch the ground for the first time in the morning, I'll say, "Today's going to be a good day." Or after I've rinsed the cup that I use to have my first drink in the morning, I will decide what the most important task, project, to-do, experience is for me on that day. Or after I've closed the door behind me in the morning, I'll take 1 abdominal breath. Or I'll set an alarm for 5 p.m. and when it goes off, I turn off all my devices. Or after I've tucked in the kids and when I leave their room in the evening, I'll open my journal and write one sentence. Step 6, celebrate. Steps 1 through 5 were all preparation, and step 6 is the first step that happens after you've completed the tiny habit or starter step. To celebrate, to open yourself up to feeling good about a tiny win. BJ Fogg calls this the most important of all these steps, and he thinks that in the future we will, as a society, recognize this more, just like we are now aware of the importance of mindfulness and gratitude. You could do a small dance, say something like awesome, or smile to express your celebration. What's important is to feel proud of your success and happy about it. We don't change nearly half as well when we feel bad about ourselves as when we feel good about ourselves. I've written in more detail about this in the newsletter that I'll send out in 2 days. If you want to read that, make sure to subscribe at the link in the description box. Step 7, expand. This is something you do later, once your tiny habit has grown deep roots into your routine. To expand the tiny habit to more of the complete behavior you're aiming for. Turn the 1 sentence of journaling into 2 sentences, 5 sentences, 10 sentences. Key here is to do it when you really want to, and to allow yourself the flexibility of scaling back when you're tired or sick. I wish you lots of success for your change, learning, and growth process in 2023, and a happy new year. If you do want to reduce your stress levels in 2023, I have an online course for you called Self-Empowered O'Clock, Spending Time the Way You Truly Want to. That can help you build a solid foundation for a year without toxic stress. The link is in the description box. Remember to subscribe, and if you're interested, also to my weekly newsletter. Till next time, take care, and remember, every great success starts tiny.